Hey guys, welcome to another analysis here where we are breaking down the markets and showing you the analysis we have for the week. So today won't take much time. I'll jump straight into the markets, break down a few pairs, the usual ones that I normally break down, especially on Wednesdays, and show you what I have. Then I'll show you just a rough analysis on the dollar and Euro USD and GBP USD that we've been looking at. We've been looking at mostly shorts this week. Those markets had really rallied last week. So this week we're looking for quite some pullbacks in the markets, and that's what we've been getting. So allow me to get straight into that and show you what we have. So if I share my screen, so starting off, I'll show you first what we're looking at on the news. Okay, so today is Wednesday. There's a bank holiday in Europe, this Italian bank holiday, and there's a meeting for OPEC. And then at 4 p.m. we have the banks speaking, the bank governors, and it's going to be a red day today evening, so it's quite an important time to watch the markets, not only the markets but also to listen to what the bank governors have to say. That's from the Fed Chair Powell, we have the Bank of England, which is Bailey's, and the ECB President Lagarde. Okay, so we have to pay attention to that, and then that's basically what will affect markets later on today and push markets either up or down. So it's very important to pay attention, because the tensions that are going on right now is a lot of inflation, interest rates, because you've been seeing worldwide, we've been increasing interest rates. That's the narrative that's going on around the world. So you need to pay attention to the fundamentals, which will guide us in terms of the technical positions we're going to take, which is basically either shorts or buys. Okay, so looking at the markets, if we start, let's start with USD CAD. I had a trade running on this one to the downside. So if you look at the 1 hour chart, we had a short trade on this one. You can see market moved to the downside. So I had that short trade last week, came out of it with about 2.3% return. It was a good trade, and then now we have another buy trade. Okay, so I executed another buy trade to the upside, looking for market to move higher. I shared this on my journal, so if you know our groups, I shared this on my journal yesterday, giving a reason as to why we are doing this. If you come here, June week 4, I gave a good analysis on this one. If you look at USD CAD, we had this analysis here. This was on Monday, actually, not even yesterday. So Monday was expecting market to come to this level, get a buy position, and that's exactly what we got here. And we're in that position right now. I think market has moved about 20% towards our target, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so I have a trade running on this one. I was paying a lot of attention to this resistance key level. So you can see it was a previous key level that pushed markets to the downside, came up, we had a breakout to the upside, a retest, pushed market higher. So what I was expecting is to see if market can come back and break below this level and quickly return back higher, then that will really push me to buy and get into the markets as a long position. So that's what we're getting. That's what I'm expecting to the upside. Okay, so that's on USD CAD. That's the only trade I have running currently. If you look at gold has been moving lower. Okay, if you look at the daily chart, it's been really moving sideways. We've been within this level over here for the past, ever since more or less 19th May. So we've been within this sideways movement. Markets just dangling between the higher side hitting the 1875 level, the lower side hitting the $1,800 mark, and just playing between that level and 1850. So it's a significant level to watch. Now I'm watching to see if market maybe today might act as a catalyst to push markets lower. You can see market have been trending lower. If they do and they break this trend line level, I'll be expecting markets to go down to the 1780 and even lower past that. But if not, and market pushes higher, closing above the 1850, I'll be seeing markets moving up to the $1,900 mark. Looking at the 4-hour chart, look at the 4-hour chart, that's what we're seeing now. Markets have started pushing a bit lower, but you never know that until the candlestick closes. It can push lower and close up as a pin bar. So now I'm paying attention to see, can we break below this trend line, which is a significant level to watch. Okay, so that's what I'll be paying attention to in line with this market structure that I have in place. Okay, so that's all I have on gold. Nothing much, just sitting on the sidelines and waiting to see the outcome. Looking at Aussie dollars, expecting this short to the downside. Okay, I was really expecting this short to the downside. However, I was expecting a bit move higher. At least I was expecting markets to reach this level before we move further down, but markets didn't really get to that level. We had sort of a counter trend line here that market broke below yesterday. You're seeing this market, I was expecting a move higher, at least to these levels, but market instead moved yesterday lower, breaking below the counter trend line, and now I'll be expecting the 0.6850 level to be hit to the downside, which was our previous support here and our previous support here. So that's the target I'm targeting. Looking at the daily chart, daily chart, sort of nothing much on this one. It's just what I was saying. I was paying a key attention to this key level, okay, the 0.700, and to the downside I was looking at the 0.6850, still paying attention to it, okay. So that's what I'm expecting on that one. US 30, I was expecting a correction. Taras was actually in this trade. It was a very good trade yesterday. Remember, we were talking about it. We're expecting some shots. Market had moved high. I was expecting this market at least to come to the trend line as well, but if you look at the 4-hour chart, which gave us a much clearer trade decision of why we need to be short, look at this, look at the 4-hour chart. It was quite clear. Market had really rallied last week, like what I was saying when I started the video. Markets rallied last week, breaking above this resistance level. You can see, and normally for me, as a rule of thumb, I want to see key levels being broken, retested, and then market continues, and that's what we got here. Market broke above. You're seeing yesterday we got quite some spikes to the upside, but markets quickly moved to the downside, coming down to the $31,000 mark, okay. Those are the levels we're targeting to the downside. Now I'm paying attention to this counter trend line. I want to see if market will respect it, bounce from it, move higher, or break to the downside. So that's what I'll be paying attention to on this pair moving forward. As I said, today might act as a catalyst, so that's what we're paying attention to. Apart from that, the dollar index, same thing on the journal. I remember on Monday I shared this. If you come to my journal here, if you come down here on the dollar index, it was on Monday. I was expecting at least market to come touch this level and move higher. What we got on the market is sort of that. It's just that we didn't get that push to the downside, but our long positions of what we were expecting to the upside is what came into place, and you're seeing now market has moved higher, going back to the $105 mark. So that's what I'm paying attention to. Expect the dollar to continue moving higher. If it can, I'm also expecting even a break above this level to the upside. So that's what I'm watching on the dollar, and opposite inversely is what I'm watching on the Euro USD. So you see Euro USD, we sort of had what we call an ascending triangle pattern. I don't trade this pattern, but I won't ignore it as well. So we had this sort of pattern. Market was respecting the upside and finally broke to the downside. So if market can continue this momentum, this can be a very good trade to the downside, and market to go back to the 1035 level. Okay, that's what I'm watching on this one. And last but not least, the GBP USD had a very good trade signal yesterday. Also shared this on my journal. Let's look at it. I had it here on my journal. This was on Monday. So market was still dangling around here. I was expecting it to move lower. Okay, you can see that. And if you go back to the chart, that was around this level, and market has really fallen from that level. So it's quite a simple pattern, because what was happening here, market had moved higher, fell down, then wasn't moving higher with momentum again. So this was a basic indication that the bears were in place and they're putting positions at this level. So I still expect market to move lower, at least to the $1.210 mark, okay, or pound mark. That's what I'm expecting on this one, the 1.210 level, okay. So that's what I'm watching. Mostly, if you see the narrative, what I'm paying attention to is that I'm looking for dollar strength and see how that goes. Okay, so that's basically it. I don't think I have much apart from that. I just want to see how market will fare out. Like I said, strong opinions weekly held. Basically what I mean with that is I might be very short today morning, but in the evening the narrative will change, a new pattern might form, and I'll be very long on the pair. Okay, so that's what a rule that we live by as well. Strong opinions weekly held, because by strong opinion you want to be well positioned in your direction that you're expecting market to go. But when things change, be very quick to change. That's what we call flexibility in the markets, and change your narrative when the market narrative changes. Okay, so that's what I'll be paying attention to. Let's see how it fares off at 4. If it fares well, if you're watching this analysis, maybe by then dollar index, I'm expecting that move higher. If it moves lower, I'll come out at break even, but if it moves higher, I'll be expecting markets to go towards my targets, which are at the higher level, around the 1.30 to the upside. Okay, so that's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed that analysis. Allow me to end it there. As I said, I'll keep it short so that we can attend to other things that are going on here in the office. So that's basically it. I'll see you guys soon and have a wonderful week. And as I sign out, remember, stay woke, stay financially literate. Thank you very much for watching Financial Hub's content on YouTube. For more forex analysis, financial education, podcasts, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.